General Stubblebine revealed what is to be found on the surface of Mars, and I'm going to show you what we recently found from the Google Mars images. This is one of them here, where we had the North Pole to our west, and we found all these what looked like openings in the ground all along from the north to the south, all along a exact straight line. They looked like openings that lead into the ground, and they all basically looked to be the same size, but we'll look at that later. Very strange things like pyramids we found. We've also found pyramids in Sidonia and other areas as well. Very strange resemblances. But anyway, what did General Stubblebine reveal concerning planet Mars was to be found? Albert Stubblebine, General, February 6, 1930 until February 6, 2017. So he died on his birthday. He was a U.S. general. He was also the commander-in-chief of the U.S. Army Intelligence and Security Administration, INSCOM, one of the most distinguished and heads of the U.S. Army Intelligence, with 16,000 soldiers under his command. He was a big proponent of mental hostilities, the key player of the Stargate project, which was a remote vision program, remote viewing. Remote viewing can be defined in many ways and is the ability of some people to see and describe a remote geographical location up to several 100,000 kilometers away, sometimes even more, from their natural location, and even other planets. Now, the results of this project were declassified and published in the Journal of Scientific Exploration. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. This program was the inspiration behind the movie Men Who Stare at Goats and the book of the same name by John Ronson. According to Wikipedia, among others, Albert Stubblebine from 1981 to 1984 had attempted to create a race of super soldiers who would have the ability to become invisible at will and walking through walls. In fact, he tried to do it himself, to go through walls, but he did not succeed, and he described in his 2004 interview. But what stands out is what Stubblebine said concerning Mars, apparently thanks to some remote viewers of the Stargate program. He said there are structures on the surface of Mars. For the record, I will tell you that there are structures below the surface of Mars that cannot be seen by the cameras of Voyagers that went in 1976. That's okay, because we have openings that show that they are constructed. You'll see that they're perpendicular, and they are definitely constructed. You see them I'm going to show it to you. They're not normal. They're on a line from north to south. And even though there were certain images that sort of cut them off, we saw parts of them on the other images of what Google Mars shows us. Now, he says, thanks to the remote viewers of the Stargate program, there are structures on the surface of Mars. For the record, I will tell you that there are structures below the surface of Mars that cannot be seen by the cameras of Voyagers that went in 1976. I will also tell you that there are machines on the surface of Mars. Well, there are machines below the surface of Mars that you can see. You can find out in detail. You can see what they are, where they are, who they are, as well as many details about them. Decades later, Jason T. Wright, a professor of astronomy and astrophysics at Penn State University in the United States, of course, who is also a member of the Center for Exoplanets and Habitable Worlds, spoke and said that there may be buried on Mars cities, factories, and even spacecrafts. Mars, as we will see on Google Mars, is rich in artificial structures that operate, he says. This is what General Stubblebine said. After some controversy over experiments with mental phenomenon, Stubblebine received an early retirement from the military in 1984. A few months later, he gave an interview, and among other things, he said, "At the moment we are talking, and on the planet Mars there are flying objects that are made of by intelligent beings. Some of them fly manned, others are in low orbit relative to the surface and oversee both the ground and airspace. On the planet of Mars, in several places on the surface are ruins of structures that could be called buildings or facilities. Many of them are dismantled and their pieces are scattered within a radius of several kilometers from their original position. There are clear examples of ancient technology. Ancient technology for them, for us, is very advanced. I would venture to say perhaps 2,000 years ahead of us. Strange for many, but these technologies are still working today, or at least as long as I was with the program," he says. "There are findings that refer to statues. There are statues, but in a way that we are not yet able to perceive. Of course, there are structures such as pyramid and sphinxes. None of this is their playfulness and play of light and shadow. What you may see or see in the future in various photos of future vehicles that will reach Mars are all true. But there are also things that are below the surface of Mars. There are also structures and complexes there, factories and industries that are still operating. They work with this ancient technology that we said is far ahead of ours. Other structures are close to the surface and just protrude, while others are at greater depths. None of them pollute their environment. I know now you will ask me if there are residents, if there are any who operate all these machines and what exactly they do. Well, we do not understand how expensive these bands are, but they are self-managed, perhaps by some kind of advanced artificial intelligence. No matter how much we searched in the departments we examined during these few years, we did not find any residents. Probably living deeper, who knows? So we don't know how they are physiognomically and morphologically, what these beings look like. As for the pilots I mentioned in their manned craft, it's difficult to say why they are in very fast motion. The fact that the people who did the remote projection were not trained in a similar environment to stabilize their remote vision viewing in the cockpit. Now, the first part based on information from Wikipedia to create the condition of writing an article for fantasy and fiction. Mainly the second part, inspiration, more information from Richard Dolan Press and Wall Street Journal and The Men Who Stare at Goats. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. And now we'll see the Mars images and you'll see for yourself what I have found. Well, for one thing, we have this thing here, which is a pyramid. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, and it's about a kilometer. There it is. It's a bit more than a kilometer on each side, and this is about 5 times bigger than the Giza pyramid, which is 200 meters. Okay, so this is definitely a pyramid. Now let's pull out. We're on Google Mars. Okay, let's pull out. We're pulling out. Okay. Pulling out. Okay. This is Sidonia right there. Let's go in. But as you can see, it's basically very, very light. You can't really see too much. But the pictures I showed you of the face were from other pictures of the Sidonia Plateau on Mars. Okay. This is not Sidonia. This is another area. This is the pyramid that I showed you before. Okay. Let's go back to Sidonia a little bit. Please be patient with me. Okay. See the 3 different types of images. You can see this one is older, this one is newer, this one is really, really faded. This is Sidonia right here. And what can I tell you? I can't see anything. But there are certain things that are very strange, though. Like this thing here that looks like it's rectangular shapes here. Okay, let's move out a little bit. Let's move out. Okay, we're moving out. Okay, that's it. We're moving out. Okay, going around. Let's go around. And this is what we showed before. This thing here, that is a triangle that has the same lengths and equidistant from each other. That cannot be, I did a video on that, that cannot be normal. Now let's put the North Pole on our side, rotate. We're putting the North Pole on our side, okay? Trying to find our doors here. We're trying to find our doors. Okay, so here we have the north here on our west. And we'll find Sidonia. Everybody has heard of Sidonia, we'll find Sidonia. And let's just go north of Sidonia here. And we'll find this thing called Ismenia lacus. Lacus means like a ditch, okay, in Greek. Okay, now we'll find this, Deuteronilus mensae. You see this thing like an arrow here? It's basically between Sidonia and the lacus that we found here. You find this arrow right there. Very strange, it is pointing right to the opening, okay? All right, let's go into that. We're going to find the opening right there. Let's go to that arrow pointing us to the, I wonder if it's like a Nazca line type of a thing. Okay, we're going to push in. Let's push in a little bit. There it is, that little black dot. Let me show it to you now. There it is. You see that black dot? Let's go in a little bit, and we also see something there that's right next to it. But we won't count that as an opening because we're not very clear. It's not very clear to it. But this thing here is definitely an opening. And that opening is about, I don't know, it doesn't go in more, but it's about, let's say that's 100, this is 200, this is 100, so it's about 100 meters across, 300 feet across each side. But you can see that it's black, it looks like an opening, and it seems like it's got another material around it. Now that is so perfectly constructed that it cannot be, in my mind, in my humble opinion, it cannot be a geological formation. And look at that too. That looks to be similar to that opening, and again it's got some kind of cement structure color around it. But let's go along that line, see if we find any more. We'll just be a little bit, oh there, what do you know? Again, it's the same size exactly. It seems to have the same type of debris around it. So that seems to be constructed as well. Let's keep going. Will we find anything else along that line? Let's keep going. I hope I don't miss anything. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. We're basically heading towards the North Pole of Mars. We just have it on the side so that we can, what's that? We don't know. We can't count that as anything. Let's keep going. What do you know? What's that? We won't count that. We won't count that. We won't count that either. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. What's this? We won't count that either. We won't count this. We won't count that. We won't count that. We won't count that. Let's keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We won't count these, even though we see a corner there. We won't count that. We won't count things. There's nothing here. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Keep going. Keep going. What's this? What's this? What's this? We keep going. Hopefully we'll find something. Hopefully we'll find something. Let's keep going. On that line. We're on that line. The same line heading north. Wow. Obviously you knew that for me to keep going, I knew we would find something. This though seems to be bigger. This seems to be bigger than 200 meters, right? And it's constructed. The same kind of color debris there, black. What's this? Is this one or is this many? I don't know. But to me it looks like it's the same coloration of this. And another color, another area here. Let's keep going. We won't count that. But we will count this. This seems to be about 100 or maybe less. What is it? It's like less than 100. Maybe it's like 40 meters across. What is that? Coffee and patisserie parfait? Do you think they have a coffee shop around here? All right. Let's keep going. What is that? Who put that there? What is that? Okay. Some kind of a glitch. Okay, forget it. Okay. Advertisers pays Google. Google pays them to advertise. Okay. So we have this. I don't know what that is. We won't count that. We won't count that either, but this is definitely there. We won't count these shadows. Let's keep going. We won't count these shadows. We have to be careful. We won't count these. We have to be sure that they're open. Well, what do you know? That must be something. That looks familiar. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Wow. Is this big? Some of these look bigger than the other one. This is over 200. And look at this. Right? Oh, what do you know? Look at this one. This is a smaller one. Isn't that something? Okay? Let's keep going. So you see how many we found? I'm not going to count that. Do you see how many we found that were completely clear to us? We won't count these. We won't count that, even though, we won't count that, even though they could be. There seems to be more here. I'm going to tell you. Let's keep going. I can't remember if there's any more. Oh, yes, there are. Oh, my goodness. We hit the jackpot here. Look at this. Look at this. They seem to be more frequent. That is definitely one. That is, I don't know if that's square or even rectangular, but you see that this image here, this part of the definition is very, very poor, and maybe they tried to block them out, but they couldn't block them out because of the fact that they're still there. Okay? That one, that one. Where are we? Are we on the North Pole or what? Of Mars? We're closing in on it. Any more? Let's see. I don't know. I can't remember. But we hit the jackpot in the last. Oh, look at this. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, and it could be that, but we're not going to count that. That is beautiful. That it looks like something there. So you see how many openings we have here. Definite openings. Oh, that's a beauty too. That's a beauty. Look, these cannot be constructed. Some of them are like 40 meters across, others are like 100 meters across, others are more than 200 meters across. So you can see there are so many. So who put them there? Who put them there? So those remote viewers must have seen. It looks like something there, but we're not going to count that. Must have seen these things. I'm just going along where that definition, the change of definition takes place. Okay, I don't know if we have any more. Strange. Okay. But anyway, you get the drift of where I am. Let's pull out again. You have to be in at a 200-meter zoom. That's where you'll find them. Where is this? Okay. Okay. So basically, we're still in the Deuteronomus Mensae all this time. Even though we thought we went very far, we didn't go too far because we started from there. And where we went all the way here, that's like 50 kilometers, 50, 100, 200, 300. We only went like 300 kilometers, right? But if you had the time to go all the way to where? The North Pole, whatever, of Mars, up there. So is Menenius Laker and Sidonia. Where's Sidonia? There's Sidonia. In the middle of it, you'll find the arrow. Around there, there's the arrow. Or am I wrong? Yeah, that's the arrow. You can see it's like almost like a Nazca line. Now, I didn't go to the other side of that line to see what was on the other side of that line. There's that little spot that we saw. I'm coming closer. There it is right there. Okay. I didn't go to the other side. We have to go to the 200-meter mark to see them. Okay. Did I pull out too much? I'm sorry. This is important. I know you must be bored, stiff. Let's go to the 200 meters mark. Okay. I didn't go to the other side towards the my right to see what was on there, on that line, to see if there were any more openings on that side. It looks like there are, but I didn't look for them on the other side, you see. It looks like there are, though, but we're not counting them until we see them clearly. We can't count them as being there if we don't see them clearly. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Strange stuff. At 200 meters. Okay, but anyway, you can if you want to go. We do see discolorations, but we have to be able to see those openings clearly. It's not enough to see discolorations like that. We have to see the openings that we saw on the other side as we were heading north. And we only went about 300 kilometers. at the 200-meter. Look at this. That's very interesting. What is that? Looks like a city. It's strange. That is strange. Look at that. That is strange. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. They look like that cannot be geological. That cannot be geological. Where is this? Where is that? Well, it's just a little bit, it's about what, 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers to my right of our origination point, which is that arrow. Anyway, I'll let you do that because I don't want to take away from your time. This is Sidonia as we're heading down. As we said before, where's Sidonia? If you find Sidonia, then you'll find there's Sidonia. So it's up there. It's just basically if you turn the North Pole to your left and find Sidonia, then you just keep heading up and it's Ismenias Lacus. Between Sidonia and Ismenias Lacus, in that area you'll find the door, the openings. And then you just head towards the North Pole. So what is that? What's going on here with Mars? And we know that we had the emerald tablets of Thoth the Atlantean telling us that at one time Mars was livable. It was like tropical type of thing, but something happened. Something happened. Anyway, please leave your comments and thank you for your support. I'll leave links below for you for this. Thank you.